Question: does the word routine scare you? It can. It can be scary for some people, but for some people, it's actually a comfort. I fall somewhere in between. I wouldn't say scared, but I don't want to get into a rut. But a rut is a different thing, and that's for another show. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jan. Welcome to another episode on this channel, the Save Money and More with Jan channel. Today, we're going to talk briefly about weekly chores can be made so much easier. Many of us have a wonderful resource within our own homes, and we underutilize it? Hmm. We don't delegate enough of our family members to pitch in sometimes. What? Oh, I don't want to do that, Jan. They may not like the idea. Well, some people prefer to be entirely in control of their cleaning routine. I kind of sort of get that too. I do, because sometimes it takes more work to explain everything the way you'd like it to be. We have to get it out of our system that when we do have help from our family, for example, okay, and they want to help in earnest and they really want to be helpful, and it would cut your time in half too, especially on deep cleaning days, for example, okay. We have to sometimes understand, especially with age appropriateness, you're not going to expect a 10-year-old to do the things that you would do in exactly the same manner that you would do when you're trying to get your house in order. Does this make sense or does this make sense? We need to be patient and we do need to get our families involved. In my opinion, I don't think that the things today should rest on one person. It is not like the 1950s. In the 1950s, usually the man of the house, the husband, went out, went to work, took care of all of that completely, and the woman was home, whether you like it or not. That's the way it was back historically. Many, many times the woman, not always, please know there were exceptions, of course. But for the most part, the woman was home doing all sorts of home management items, and they had much more time to take care of certain matters. Plus, that, as opposed to the 1950s, we live in a very fast paced society now. Back in the 1950s, our moms didn't have to worry about checking on email. Now, did they? No. They didn't have to concern themselves with what the kids are doing on social media. No. They didn't have to necessarily be soccer moms. No. You see where I'm going with this. So, today, in my opinion, in my thoughts, honestly, I think that we should have our families participate more. But that's on us too, to explain things calmly, gently, patiently, and not expect everybody to know everything because you gave them a 10-minute lecture about how you want your kitchen to look with their help. And if it doesn't come out that way, this starts young. Before I go on to like exact specific tips, these things start young. They start young with good habits that we ourselves have to show. In my honest, as an example, does this make sense? Or does this make sense? I'm sorry about the rustling of my notebook, of which I wrote my notes, my trusty notebook. How many of you out there have a trusty notebook? I can't live without my notebooks. I'm telling you, especially with the stuff I do here. I absolutely have to have notebooks. Are you kidding me? All right. So the first thing that I wrote down, embrace a cleaning routine. Do a fast go around of tidying up. That's right. Every single day. It doesn't have to take hours and hours. In fact, I don't recommend that. It shouldn't take more than 15, 20 minutes of your time. A fast go around. Just go around your rooms quickly, pick up things that might be on the floor, somehow magically landed on the floor, right? Or if you have kids, let them pick up after themselves. It's a great thing to right away teach good responsibilities, pick up after yourself, but go around to see if, in fact, the stuff was picked up after. Okay, a waste paper basket in every single room can make life a lot easier. Doesn't have to be expensive, doesn't have to be big. It can be an old popcorn tin that you put a bag in. I'm not even kidding you, for waste paper baskets in those other rooms. I'm telling you, you can have organization on the cheap. And if everybody does their part, it's never going to accumulate. So every single day, make it a point to carve out about 15 to 20 minutes. If in the beginning, when you're trying to get used to it, you might consider a timer so you get a sense of what the 15, 20 minutes feels like, or you just keep checking your clock, okay? And that's actually a very rapid experience, just going around for a quick, fast look see, quick, fast tidying up, picking things up off the floor, perhaps putting toys back where they belong, helping the little ones put their toys away. I know it gets us crazy when we see like little bits and pieces of toy pieces, action figures all over the place. It may be mind-boggling for an adult to look at that. It's just like, oh, when it's in disarray. I get it. I get it. Even though it was a long time ago, I still remember those days. They never leave you. I'm just saying. All right. So now remember, do not confuse this quick loop around checking with deep cleaning. You're just tidying things up. But can I tell you, when you tidy things up, doesn't it feel a heck of a lot better? Open your window, let some fresh air in. Let some fresh air in. Right away, you feel like you have a mental and physical reset. It's true. What does it take, a minute to open your window for a few minutes? And plus that, it gives your home or apartment a fresh air exchange from, let's say that you open the windows in the morning time, for example, because, overnight, many people's windows are closed and you got that stale air going on, you know, inhaling, exhaling, outhailing. Listen to me, inhaling, exhaling, all that, what happens kind of stuff. No, it's always best to open the windows, get rid of that stale indoor air. Does that make sense, or does that make sense? Next, during this 15 to 20 minutes, you may be surprised, but you might actually, and you will actually find a way to do a quick, I'm going to turn the page, do a quick wipe down of kitchen counters and sink. Quick wipe down. Again, this is not deep cleaning. This is just quick wipe down so that you don't have like any residue from last night's previous dishes. Although I know everybody tries to do their best the night before, but you might find a couple of things here or there that don't look the way you want them to look. Get the clutter off the counters. Isn't it peaceful to look at clear counters instead of cluttery counters? Am I right or am I right? You know I'm right. And I know that you know that. All right. Also, when you take a shower, okay, when you're right before you're done and ready to leave the shower, okay, do a quick spray. Keep the spray available in your shower. Spray quick, your tile. Go over very fast, rapidly. We're not talking about deep cleaning. Again, I reiterate this. We are not talking about deep cleaning. We are talking about prevention of a huge build-up. Yes. And it's fresher and you feel better. And yes, it can be done. You can also include a quick swish of the actual toilet bowl with a toilet bowl brush. Swish, swish, swish. Every day, do a swish, swish real fast. And yeah, again, this is not deep cleaning. Next, pick the deep cleaning day of your choice. Be realistic. Back in the 1950s, people probably picked Saturday because the whole world practically worked Monday through Friday. It's not like the way things are today. Today, shifts are staggered. What may be a weekend for me is not a weekend for you. It's completely different. So you have to pick what is your free time and your day that you could take about an hour or two, I suppose, of actual deep cleaning and do what you need to do for that. Okay. And next, do everything in tiny but realistic time frames. Like for the remainder of the week, those little chores that I'm mentioning, do them in tiny time frames. Don't spend hours on end. And here's what helps me. If I spill something, I'm not going to wait 3 hours later to clean up the spill. I will take care of that immediately. Okay. And I work as I go along. If I'm cooking, this is where a lot of people make a big mistake. They do not work as they go along when they're cooking. They just pile it all up in the sink, let it sit there for a long time. Then they have a harder job. Isn't it easier to, knock down the work? Like if you put everything in the oven, clean up your cutting knives, your cutting board, Wash them down. It's easier too. The longer you let a pot or anything sit there, the harder it is to clean off. So you're actually giving yourself double work. Who wants double work? Now, I know we don't live in a perfect world where it's always going to work out that way, but we could strive for it. Yes, the phone may ring, a doorbell may ring, and then all of a sudden, the stuff that you wanted to get done quickly has to sit a little bit. I get that. That's real life. But as soon as possible, put it that way, as soon as possible, tackle that, and it will not be the huge chore that inevitably people dread. And I can't blame anybody for dreading it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So yeah. So do everything in tiny but realistic time frames. And very important, get the family involved in the routine. This is a huge help, but don't expect perfection from them, because if they are not knowledgeable in the area of concern that you're trying to explain and teach the family member to help you out with, don't expect perfection plus in the beginning. Not going to happen. Experience is the best teacher. You're doing them a favor for their own future, for their own homes, and it helps you out. Like I said, the whole thing should not be on one person ever, 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 ever. I heard something interesting back in the 1950s. People used 5 cleaning products maximum, and that was pushing it to the max. Today, people use up to 40 different, you heard it, 40 different types of cleaning products. Are you kidding me? I guess they're including all the, newfangled devices, like those robot type of floor cleaners and stuff of that nature. But back in the day, let's say when our moms were young housewives, was like less than 5. And I still do the 1950s thing. I'm not interested in the 40 thing. I'm just not. And the old tried and true, make your bed right away. Make your bed right away. Make it right away. Okay, maybe you need a cup of coffee first, and that's okay. Some people could grab the cup of coffee, sit there, have their coffee and everything, and then have a few sips, go right to your bedroom, make your bed. Why do I say that? You don't want to come home from a long, hard, tiring day and look at an unmade bed. You're tired already. It's like, oh my word. When you first wake up in the morning, it doesn't seem like such a big deal to make your bed, okay? So I know you've heard this 10 million times, not just from me, but from everybody else on the planet. But it's true. On the days when you did remember to make your bed quickly and you come home, it's just done. But then there were days when it couldn't happen. You're like, oh no, I thought I did this already. Am I right or am I right? Has that ever happened to any of us? Of course it has. I'm sure it happened to every single one of us, including yours truly. But here's one that's very important. I'm going to leave it at this. Be sure to take one day off from all of this. Take one day off. Take a day of rest. Some people choose Sunday. That is the traditional day of rest for many, many people, but not for every person. Whatever it is, because of people's schedules. The work schedules today are different. So, yeah, but be sure out of the 7-day period, be sure to include one day of rest. Do not hesitate to have your friends, loved ones, or roommates, or whatever, people that you live with, help you out. The whole thing should not be on one person, ever. Embrace routine. Routine can be your friend. Don't just think of it as a rut. There is a difference between a routine and a rut. A routine helps you out with your practical stuff. It gets things done methodically and in a beneficial way. A rut is a different story, and I know I've done shows on it, and I'll delve into it again in a future show. All right, everybody, thank you so very much for being here. I truly do appreciate everybody's time, and I'm going to get started with some, decluttering today myself. So I penciled it in that's what I want to do today because I scheduled it. Funny thing, when you schedule something and make an actual appointment, for me, I can't speak for the whole world at large, but for myself, when I pencil in a thing to do, no matter what the thing, whether it's decluttering or meeting somebody for an appointment, it happens. For me, it happens. Try that. Try that trick to see if it works for you. All right, everybody, take good care of yourself, your amazing family. Don't forget to come back when? Every single day. When? At 5 a.m. Don't forget, if you haven't done it yet, would you be so very kind to click like, I appreciate that. Click like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Super thanks are forever, never, never appreciated in the support of this channel. Thank you very much.